Recording in progress.
Ladies and gentlemen, seed systems are critical for increasing food production, building climate resilience, and ensuring nutrition security. A sustainable and inclusive seed system enables farmers to access seeds of wide variety of crops of farmers' choice. Conservation of agrobiodiversity, agriculture traditions, and food system also depend upon seed systems. Strengthening seed system are inevitable to equip farmers to adapt to climate change and ensuring nutrition. This national consultation aims to deliberate and develop strategies for building resilient and sustainable seed system that promote food security and nutrition security. And this deliberations takes place in a globally important agriculture heritage site, Koraput. The inaugural session is about to start. We have our dignitaries on dais, Dr. G.N. Hariharan, Executive Director, Swaminathan Research Foundation, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Chairperson, Swaminathan Research Foundation, Dr. Konda Reddy Chauwa, Food and Agriculture Organization, representing India, Dr. Kuldeep Singh, ICRISAT, Dr. Tara Satyavadi, Indian Institute of Millet Research, and Mr. Prashant also representing Tribal Agrobiodiversity Center. I request Dr. Hariharan to deliver welcome address.
A very good morning to all of you, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It's my privilege and pleasure to offer the welcome address to this August gathering. This is a very important national consultation. You know, at MSSRF, we strongly believe we need to empower our rural communities with suitable mechanisms so that we can always, be comfortable or, make sure that sustainable development can take place. This is one such meeting where we will be speaking about a resilient, sustainable and inclusive seed system for food and nutrition security. Food and nutrition security is not a kind of important setting only for a few people. It is across, right from a child which is born today to the last day. Nutrition security is very vital, and only through this seed systems we can really build that. And today's national consultation is now getting attended with 10 national institutions including PPVFRA participating, 30 national level speakers, 10 NGOs and seed sector stakeholders are participating, and more importantly, the grassroots custodian farmers, women custodian farmers are also sitting with us to deliberate and come out with very clear pathway so that we can take steps or we can reach out to the relevant policymakers to make suitable changes and get these things organized at the national level. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, our chairperson, MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. Amidst of her very busy schedule, when we requested her to be with us today, immediately she agreed and also consented, yes, I will, be with you, and she's the guiding force behind this important national seminar. Along with us is Dr. Kondareddy Chava. He is a very good friend of Foundation on many different, aspects. Whenever we call him, reach out to him, right from, recognizing the globally important agricultural heritage system. He guides us, and also, please give it to Dr. Kuldeep Singh. Madam Satyavati. Yeah, many of you may be aware, FAO, this Jeypore tract is one of the two globally important agricultural heritage systems in the country, and FAO played a very crucial role. And with this recognition, we can go a long way in conserving the agricultural landscape of this particular region, because this is globally important agricultural heritage. But more so, the food system that is derived out of this agricultural heritage is what very crucial. If you really look at, plants are almost facing the environment on a regular basis, on a 24/7 basis, and that is the trigger for a lot of evolutionary traits to set in them. So every land race, every variety, every seed is very crucial, and this is the right, we are in the right place. If we conserve these seed systems available here, we can really ensure future food security. And from that angle, FAO, and we welcome Dr. Kondareddy Chava to be with us today. Another very important guest, Dr. Kuldeep Singh, Head Gene Bank, ICRISAT, Hyderabad, is also with us. Fine, in the field, farmers are really conserving the material, whereas if we need to ensure long-term storage of this material, gene banks are very crucial. Here is the point where the scientists have to closely work with the farmers. So to highlight that, I thank and welcome Dr. Kuldeep Singh to be with, he is with us today, and welcome you, sir, for this. Dr. C. Tara Satyavati is our close friend. We, take a lot of guidance from her when it comes to millet related dimensions, including right from conservation to sustainable utilization. We even aimed a very special member of MOU with ICMR, IIMR. And thank you very much, madam, and I also welcome you for this important meeting. To be with us, there are going to be around 15 custodian farmers who is going to receive the recognition from this August gathering. I welcome each and every one of this custodian farmer to this important meeting. This occasion also marks our 30 years journey, especially the Tribal Agrobiodiversity Center's 30 years journey. And in Odisha, we began our journey in 1994 with the establishment of a research center in Cuttack. If many of you who work very closely with Professor, he also started his career in Odisha. So in many ways, Odisha is very special to MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. And then after the super cyclone, when the then Chief Minister, requested Professor to give a plan, Professor was the one to immediately talk about restoration of mangroves in the Kendrapara region. And we started our coastal systems work in that. And from there, again, the guidance came to set up a center exclusively for the conservation of the unique rice germplasm of this particular region. I have heard from Professor M. Swaminathan himself that this region, at least minimum 3,000 varieties should be existing. Very heartening to see institutions who are closely working in the conservation of genetic resources in this particular meeting. We thank the then Honorable Chief Minister Sri Naveen Patnaik ji for providing support and also land on which We are all sitting today, the whole beautiful buildings came in the generous support offered by Sri Naveen Patnaik ji, and done. Even the current government also, we are thankful to the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister and the organization to continue this support for this important work. Today, MSSRF presence in Odisha has grown significantly, you all would have seen. And from the conservation of 356 rice plant races, 72 varieties of millets, 384 species of medicinal plants. When this particular land was offered, one of the conditions the Chief Minister mentioned is to bring the key medicinal plants used by the tribal people, to set up a tribal agrobiodiversity garden here. Many of you, when you walk in, you can see the boards depicting the tribal culture and the medicinal plants what they have used here. And we have engaged over 48,000 tribal families spread across 240 villages, and have successfully implemented innovative models like biohappiness initiative, biovillage model, or farming system for nutrition. Many things I can keep on mentioning, but we always have a holistic approach to the human development that integrates conservation, cultivation, consumption, and commerce. What we are witnessing today is the incredible progress we have made over the past 3 decades in Odisha. As we continue to grow and expand our initiative, we remain committed and also collaborate with all of you to create models of sustainable development that can be replicated not only in Odisha but across the world. Today's deliberation is one such, and the lessons what we generate out of this particular deliberation, sure for many other biodiverse region that can be applied, and with the support of experts on the dais, we can always take it to a larger sections of our society. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Lamp. I request all girls on the dais to come forward, requesting Dr. Swaminathan and other dignitaries on the dais for lighting of lamp. Thank you all. Now I call upon Dr. Swaminathan for offering her inaugural address. Yeah, please stand up for Bande Utkal.
Bande Utkala Janani, 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 Bande Utkala Janani. चारु हासमै चारु भासमै जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे
Namaste and good morning, everyone. First of all, I would also like to add my words of welcome, especially to those who have come from near as well as from far to participate in this workshop. And I also want to thank Prashant and his team, the staff of the center here, who have been working extremely hard over the last few days to make everything, get ready for the next 2 days. And I hope that all of you will find the arrangements convenient. But they have really worked very hard. I also want to welcome our farmers, men and women farmers who are with us today. And I hope that we'll be hearing from them as we go through our sessions, because I think their views and their feedback and their knowledge is going to be very critical in whatever discussion we have. Unfortunately, we are speaking in English now, but I hope that somebody will be translating for them, and they're also sitting in the other room, I think, and hopefully they have an interpreter. But we will encourage all of them to share their thoughts with us as we get into the more technical sessions. So, as Dr. Hariharan mentioned, we have been in Odisha for about 30 years now, in Koraput since 1998. The center was inaugurated. And of course, a lot has happened, a lot has changed, both for the good. If you see, overall development indices have all improved. But yesterday I was in the field. I was in Dashmanpur block visiting several villages where we have our health program. And I could see that there is still a long way to go in terms of both nutrition security of the households, economic well-being, and opportunities for young people. I find that is really a very big challenge and a gap, particularly in our tribal areas, where a lot of students tend to drop out of school towards high school. And they think there is a lack of opportunities, and also there's a pressure on them to start earning. So I think whatever we are discussing about seed systems in the context, of course, of climate change, it is going to be important to think about sustainability of farming here in a way that it can also provide good incomes for farmers, and also provide them a good quality of life. Climate change is definitely here, and there is no doubt that it's having a big impact on all aspects of our lives. Things are much more unpredictable now than they used to be, and we have to adapt very, very quickly. There's very limited time actually for this kind of human adaptation that is needed in terms of how we grow our food, in terms of also using technology to improve our understanding as much as possible and predictability of what is going to come, as well as setting up resilient, community-based resilient systems, and empowering the panchayats as well as the other groups in the village, whether they are self-help groups or farmer-producing organizations, with the kind of knowledge that's needed for them at this point to tackle some of these new challenges, which everybody is struggling with. And MSSRF has always been at the forefront of using technology to serve people's needs, for societal needs, and particularly for farmers and fisher people and tribals. These have been our three major stakeholders. And so I think today, when we have these new challenges, we also have to work together to see how we can bring, whether it is GIS and satellite data, whether it is information technology using digital tools, including the use of artificial intelligence. And Odisha has been actually very good in using many of these technologies. They've been a very progressive state. So I think there is a lot of potential to do even more here and to test new innovative approaches to tackle some of these things. But also the new field of advances in genomics, and how much more we can understand today, and how rapidly and much more affordably we are able to do genotyping. But we also need to look at nutrition content. And I think one of the things perhaps that has not been that much attention given to in the agricultural systems has been the nutritional quality and content of our crops with an over focus on yield and not enough focus on nutrition. And I think unless we start valuing the nutrition property of plants and crops, whether they are mainstream crops or they are forgotten crops, and we should be able to give the farmer that remuneration which they deserve. Because I was talking to some of the people in the stalls outside, and definitely farmers will give up their traditional variety if the hybrid variety is going to give them a much higher yield, because ultimately they need to earn, and nobody can blame them for doing that. In fact, any of the custodian farmers that we will be honoring today have done it at their own interest, not because they're getting anything economic returns from it, but they should. Why should a custodian farmer not be rewarded? Why should somebody who's conserving, and as Dr. Hariharan was saying, from 3,000 varieties or whatever, of maybe 1,500 documented land races, we are down to 150 or 200, something in that range. And there's also display outside of tubers, wild tubers. There's a lot of variety of wild tubers here, but who's working on trying to preserve them or document and create a repository or a garden of these forgotten foods? So I think that's again a lot of potential in Odisha, particularly because tribals are very, very familiar and knowledgeable about these things. Same thing we see in Wayanad also, where we work also in with tribal communities. But that knowledge is going, and so I think it is. We should also think about projects to conserve that knowledge, but also use it for the people's benefit. So I think bringing together technology, but also bringing entrepreneurship, new opportunities for especially the younger people here, who cannot make a living out of the traditional agriculture that their parents practiced, but adding value to what they have. They have a lot of natural resources. This is one of the biodiversity rich areas, but unfortunately, again, just like climate change, biodiversity loss is an even bigger threat today. And so everything we can do to not just conserve biodiversity, but to ensure, like what Professor Swaminathan's principles were, the 4 C's, cultivation, conservation, consumption, and commerce, is the only way really to keep the natural resources in perpetuity and sustainably. So again, welcome everyone, and thank you very much for finding time to be here. And over the next 2 days, I'm sure there'll be a lot of good ideas that we can discuss, but also develop partnerships in order to take it forward, because ultimately we don't want just a 2-day talk shop, but it must result in some very concrete programs going forward. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam. Now I request Dr. Kondareddy Chawwa, Food and Agriculture Organization, for offering his special address in this occasion.
Namaskaram. Respected colleagues and farmers, I am honored to be here for this national consultation. I am thankful to MSSRF for organizing this national consultation on seed systems in this ideal setting in Koraput, which is a globally important agriculture heritage site. I believe this national consultation will serve as a vital platform for experts, policymakers, community leaders, farmers, and practitioners to exchange ideas, identify challenges, and formulate strategies to strengthen seed systems. MSSRF has been instrumental in conserving Odisha's local seed systems by promoting agrobiodiversity, empowering farmers, and enhancing climate resilience. It is heartening to note that the initiatives such as participatory plant breeding and legal registration of traditional seed varieties by MSSRF has demonstrated how traditional seed systems can outperform modern input-intensive methods. I also agree with Dr. Swaminathan and echo her views that it's important for us to also engage with private sector in ways in which how we can strengthen and continue to promote the agrobiodiversity and community managed seed systems. Modern agriculture is increasingly dominated by a narrow range of crops, with rice, wheat, and maize accounting for about 60% of global cereal production. In the face of climate change, this lack of diversity heightens the risk of crop failures, food supply chain disruptions, and economic instability, especially for small and marginal producers. Access to diverse, high-quality seeds enhances crop resilience, food security, and nutritional diversity. Additionally, resilient seed systems help farmers adapt to climate variability while creating economic opportunities for smallholder farmers. Community seed conservation systems rooted in tradition, resilience, and sustainability play a crucial role in conserving, exchanging, and enhancing plant genetic resources. In India, particularly, these systems have been an integral part of agriculture, with farmers preserving indigenous seed varieties deeply woven into local culture. And traditional practices, often maintained by women, act as a natural safeguard against pests, diseases, and extreme weather, ensuring crops remain adapted to local conditions. And this is all the more relevant given the context of the climate change that we are witnessing. And some of the community-led initiatives in India, aside from the work of MSSRF, include that of Navadanya's work across multiple states in India, the Deccan Development Society's work in Telangana with smallholder women to revive traditional crops such as sorghum, millets, and pulses, Sahaja Samruddha and Vanastri in Karnataka, and so on. It is also heartening to see the government recognizing individual contributions. I think it is important that we also acknowledge the work of Padma Shri Kamla Pujari from Koraput, Odisha, likewise of Raimati Gudia, also from Koraput, who was recently awarded honorary doctorate by the Honorable President of India. State-led initiatives, particularly Odisha has been the leader in the state-led initiatives. The Odisha Millets Mission, also called the Shri Anna Abhiyan, supports on-farm conservation and breeding, and is the first state to institute protocols for landrace varieties. And we are happy to be collaborating with the government of Odisha on this work and taking it forward in the country. Likewise, we know that the work of the Indian Institute of Millets Research plays a vital role in seed conservation by preserving and promoting diverse millet varieties to enhance food security, climate resilience, and nutritional security. It maintains a millet gene bank with over 12,000 accessions of major and minor millets, and focuses on indigenous millet varieties to protect genetic diversity and supports traditional farming. India provided and provides leadership to the world in developing supportive legal and institutional frameworks, such as the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Act, which reinforces grassroots efforts by legally protecting farmers' varieties and guaranteeing farmers' rights to save, use, exchange, and share or sell their seeds. These protections also align with the International Treaty of Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture, which is hosted by the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. ICRISAT likewise plays a critical role in seed conservation, particularly for crops suited to arid and semi-arid regions, and maintains a gene bank in India, conserving over 120,000 seed accessions from over 144 countries, and works with local seed networks to promote on-farm conservation of traditional seed varieties. On the global scale, Food and Agriculture Organization plays a pivotal role in bridging traditional knowledge with modern agriculture science through policy frameworks, capacity building initiatives, and technical assistance. Collective efforts from grassroots movements and state-led initiatives to international collaborations are essential for building resilient seed systems that support farmers, preserve agrobiodiversity, and secure our agriculture future. This national consultation on seed systems brings together diverse stakeholders to strengthen the traditional and seed conservation and safeguards our agricultural future in a changing climate. I'm honored to be here and look forward to the interactions and learning from them. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Kuldeep Singh, Head Gene Bank, ICRISAT, to deliver his special address.
Namaskar sabko. At the onset, let me sincerely thank Swaminathan Foundation giving us an opportunity to be here. In fact, I have been visiting Odisha since 2000. Dr. Patra is here to CRRI. And then I was with NVPGF for 5 years. All these 25 years, there was a dream to visit this region, but every time I missed it because this is a secondary center of diversity for rice. And so thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to really come over here in this one. Well, we all have grown with Dr. Swaminathan as a teacher and then as a leader. So we know how this foundation has been working and how it has been contributing to the nation. The nation is grateful to that one, in fact. My remarks right now, I would like to go back to the history a little bit. And we'll say we are really grateful to the farmers, especially the women farmers who for centuries identified the potential plants and domesticated around 30,000 plants that are edible. And out of those 30,000, at any given time, almost 7,000 were being used for food at local level. However, with the advancements and developments in science in the last 100 to 120 years, the productivity of small number of crop species improved dramatically. And in fact, this led to the reduced diversity in number of species being used for food and agriculture. It's not only reduced the diversity between the species, but the diversity within species as well. And in fact, this has led to the several problems globally to the humans, especially the nutritional one. And in my presentation, I will give you how, despite the increase in productivity manifold, the increase in nutritional deficiencies have also come manifold in that one as well. But the good thing is that globally, if we look at the moment, almost 7.4 million accessions of several thousand edible species are being conserved in more than 1,700 gene banks in the world. And of course, India's National Gene Bank, that's housed at NVPGR Delhi, that's second largest gene bank in the world, conserving around 450,000 accessions of around 2,000 species. A major part of those are the edible ones as well. I firmly believe that even at the current level of scientific advancements in genetics, plant breeding, genomics, seed production, and related approaches, modern plant breeding programs are operational for a few dozens of species only, and leaving out a large number of potential crops under this ambit. To mitigate the impact of climate change and diversifying our food basket, we probably need to reach back to those 7,000 species which were being consumed as food at one or the other time as well. And governments of the day cannot afford doing it. And I repeat, the governments of the day cannot afford doing this one. They cannot have the breeding programs of 7,000 species as well. So probably the farmers are the ones who could be requested once again to really help the human civilization to do that one. While the formal seed systems excel in providing high quality seeds for a selected number of crops and the cultivars, which often results in the narrowing of the crop and the varietal diversity. And this limitation, in fact, underscores the importance of on-farm conservation by the farmers, who preserve a much broader diversity than what we have in the formal system at the moment. Even for the major crops where best breeding and seed production programs and practices are operational, the farmers participate in research, training farmers in scientific selection, and seed conservation procedures can improve in situ conservation at farmers' fields as well. This is not happening in the formal system, where a variety is there for 5 years or to the most 10 years of years, and it cannot really evolve the way we would like to see it evolving for a longer period. It's only farmers who can help the world once again in ensuring conservation and cultivation of diverse set of crops, which are adapted to specific niches and provide solutions to the climate change and nutritional deficiencies. Thus, empowering farmers to continue their activities in niche-based in situ conservation, improvement, seed production, and establishing market linkage for better remuneration is definitely required. This is what Swami also told right now, that the tribal farmers also have a right to really get more and more income as well. So until and unless we really help them in linking all this to the farmers and ensuring that they are better equipped. One concern definitely will be there, that these efforts have to be sustainable or may not be sustainable as long as the governments are providing subsidized access to the major food crops, even to the well-to-do families. So as long as that's happening, the diversification at the farmers' level and food diversification will remain questionable. Aryanji, you mentioned about 3,000 land races of rice from this region. There's a program which is a DBT supported program where 12,000 land races of rice are being sequenced, genotyped. So probably IERI is leading that program, and Arpatra is also a part of that one. And you may look into that list of all the 3,000 which have come from this region, or how many of them are here, can have the data. Those could be really, the data could be used for protecting the diversity of this region as well. With this, once again, thank you to the foundation for giving me this opportunity to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Tara Satyavati, Director, IIMR, for her special address.
A very good morning to you all. My respects to late Professor M.S. Swaminathan ji for his visionary establishment of this setup here in Odisha in Jeypore, which is the hotspot, secondary center of origin for biodiversity in rice and many other crops. And also congratulate MSSRF for completion of 30 years of presence in Odisha and celebrating this. So, and also as part of this National Consultation on Building Climate Resilient, Sustainable and Inclusive Seed System for Food and Nutrition Security, This event really gathers all the important stakeholders responsible for building this seed system security for food and nutrition security. All my previous speakers have mentioned about tribal farmers' role in preservation, conservation of the available genetic resources in various crops. All these things are, yes, they have been doing, and they need some more attention to give economic prosperity to the local tribal farmers who are the main key players in this system. Since I'm coming from millets, I try to give an example, not a big one. Recently, I was there in Vijayanagaram, where we were distributing some primary processing machinery at the farm gate level for tribal farmers, for supporting them and increasing their income through increased processing and good quality seed and grain. When we talk of the role of these tribal farmers, it is tremendous. Only thing is, during the course of our professional achievements and many things, and the system we are in, at some point of time, we do not take them into the mainstream as we consider other farmers. But these people, they need to be given due recognition and due place in the system. For example, recently through these tribal farmers and FPOs located in these tribal locations, they were able to produce nearly 40 to 45 tons of quality millet seed. We are trying to, today we are trying to discuss and how to mainstream those people and enhance their economic returns and income. There are cases where these people have demonstrated their capabilities and demonstrated their commitment that they can produce good quality seed on par with researchers and companies. So I think this consultation meeting is in the right direction and at the appropriate time and location, so as to invite, integrate all the stakeholders and march forward for the betterment of all. So once again, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity, especially Soumya Madam and also Prashant and Oliver for their continuous untiring efforts and also bringing together all of us to one place. So I wish this two-day consultation meet comes out colorful with good thoughts, ideas and roadmap for future course of action. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. We have a special guest with us, Dr. Raimadi Guria. She represents the custodian farmers, and I request her to address the gathering. Come. Prashant will try.
सबको नमस्कार। मोर ना जी रायमती गिरिया, डॉक्टर रायमती गिरिया। मो गोटे महिला चाषी। मो आगु तो किसी जान नी जिते बड़े आमर पद्मश्री कमला पूजारी बड़मा देशी धान रे काम करते आमर स्वामीनाथन आगमन सांग मिसिक बहुत प्रकार देशी धान रखी तांके ମୁଁ ସେଠି ଜାଣିବାକୁ ପାଇଥିଲି। ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଛୋଟ ଥିଲି ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଜମିକି ଯାଉଥିଲି, କେମିତି ଦାନକୁ ଦାନ କେମିତି ତିଆରି ହେବ ସେ ଉପରେ କାମ କରୁଥିଲା ବଡ଼ ମା'। ସେଠି କଲମ ଜଡ଼ବା ପାଇଁ ମୋତେ ସବୁଦିନ ଭୋର ସକାଳେ ଡାକିକି ନେଇଥିବାର ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫୁଲ ହେଇଥିବ ସେ ସମୟରେ ଯାଇକି ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ହେଲ୍ପ କରୁଥିଲି ତାଙ୍କୁ। ମୁଁ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ପାଇଥିଲି ଯେ ଦେଶୀ ଧାନ ବି ଆଗକୁ ଦରକାର ଦେବ ବୋଲି ତାଙ୍କେ ରଖୁଛନ୍ତି ବଡ଼ ମା'। ମୁଁ ବି ସେ ଉପରେ କାମ କରିବି ବୋଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ବଡ଼ ହେଇକି ମୋ ଶ୍ୱଶୁର ଘର ଗଲି, ସେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଆମର ଶ୍ୱଶୁରକୁ କହିକିନା କେତେଟା ଦେଶୀ ଭେରାଇଟି ଧାନ ଉପରେ ମୁଁ ଶ୍ୱଶୁରକୁ କହିଲି, ତାଙ୍କେ ବି ରାଜି ହେଲେ। ରାଜି ହେଲାରୁ
just I am translating what she told. I am giving break to her. She told already she had told her name that Raimati Gauria. She belongs to a tribal family, and she is telling from my childhood I got inspired from my elder mother Padma Shri Kamala Pujari. She used to collect many traditional varieties and cultivate, and she used to involve me in that process. So that inspired me to collect many varieties and inspired me for the conservation of those varieties. And after that, when I married, my father-in-law also, he is also a custodian farmer, and he had some collections of varieties, and I continued to again collect many varieties and conserve that.
ତାପରେ ମୁଁ ଦାନରେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲି, ଦାନରେ ଯେମିତି ଆରମ୍ଭ କରି ନେଲି। ତାପରେ ଆମର ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ମିଟିଂ ଆମର ସ୍ୱାମୀନାଥନ ଆଜ୍ଞାମାନଠୁ ନେଇଛି, କେମିତିକି କମ୍ ବିହନରେ କେମିତି ଅମଳ କରିହେବ ସେ ଉପରେ ବି ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ଆମର ସ୍ୱାମୀନାଥନ ଆଜ୍ଞାମାନେ ମୋତେ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ସେ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ନେଇକି ମୁଁ ଗାଁରେ ବି ଯାଇକି ଆମର ଚାଷୀ ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ବି ମୁଁ ଶିଖାଉଥିଲି। ମୁଁ ଆମର ତ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ମିଟିଂ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଉଥିଲା ଗାଁରେ। ସେ କାର ତୁଳିଆ ମୁଣ୍ଡାରେ କେମିତି ପିଣ୍ଡା କଣ୍ଡରେ ବସିକିନା ଆମେ ମିଟିଂ ଟ୍ରେନିଂ କରୁଥିଲୁ। ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଆମର ସ୍ୱାମୀନାଥନ ଆଜ୍ଞାମାନଙ୍କୁ କହିଲି, ତାଙ୍କେ ଗୋଟେ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଯୋଗାଯୋଗ କରି କିଛିଟା ପଇସା ଦେଲେ। ସେ ପଇସାରେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଫାର୍ମ ସ୍କୁଲ ତିଆରି କଲୁ। ଆହୁରି କେମିତିକି ଆମର ଦେଶୀ ବିହନ ଯାକ ଅଛି, ସେ ଦେଶୀ ବିହନ ଯାକ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଉଥିଲା। ଯେତେବେଳେ ମୁଁ ଧାନ ହେଉ କି ମାଣ୍ଡିଆ ହେଉ କି ପନିପରିବା ହେଉ ଯେତିକି ଅଛି ଆମର ଦେଶୀ ଭେରାଇଟି ଧାନ ଯାକ ଡାଲି ଜାତୀୟ ବି ସେଇଟାକୁ ଆମେ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଉଥିଲା। ଯେତେ କରୁଥିଲୁ ଆମକୁ ବହୁତ ଇଏ ହେଉଥିଲା, ଘର ନାହିଁ। ସେଇଟା ପାଇଁ କହିଲାରୁ ଆଜ୍ଞାମାନେ କେତେ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କଲେ। ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କଲାରୁ ଆମର ଗାଁର ଲୋକକୁ କହିଲାରୁ ସବୁ ଲୋକ ମିଶିକି ଗୋଟେ ବିହନ ପାଣ୍ଠି ତିଆରି କଲୁ। ଏବେ ବିହନ ପାଣ୍ଠି ତିଆରି କରୁଛୁ ଯେ ଆମକୁ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ବି ସେତେ ଇଏ ନାହିଁ, ଆମର ମୂଷା ଖାଇଯାଉଛି, ନଷ୍ଟ ହୋଇଯାଉଛି। ସେଇଟା ପାଇଁ ଆଗାମୀ ଦିନକୁ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ବି ବହୁତ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେବ। ସେଇଟା ପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଘର ବି ଆହୁରି ଭଲ ଘର ହେଲେ ଆମେ ବହୁତ ବିହନ ବି ରଖିପାରିବୁ। ଆମର ଚାଷୀମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ବହୁତ ଭଲ ଭଲ ବିହନ ଅଛି, ଦେଶୀର କୋଳଥ, ବିରି, ମୁଗ ଏଯାକ ଆହୁରି ଡାଲି ଜାତୀୟ ଆହୁରି ଅଛି ଆମର ମାଣ୍ଡିଆ, ଧାନ ଏଯାକ ସବୁ ଅଛି ଆମର ଚାଷୀମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ। ସେଇଟା ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ ଟିକେ ଅସୁବିଧା ହେଉଛି।
She telling after that MS Swaminathan Research Foundation that they are working in our village. So I got training from different aspects of cultivation and productivity, and I started cultivating those varieties I conserved, and also productivity enhanced. After that, actually we faced difficulties while interacting with the people for meeting and all those things. Then MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, with the help of one bank, that is actually Indian Overseas Bank, they established one farm school. And actually she is the main contributor of land and facilitating that farm school. So the farm school still continuing, and she is facilitating that, and that helped in farmers to farmers interaction better, and even if conducting trainings also. Then we felt to there are lots of varieties with us, but there are no space to keep the varieties. So we requested MSSRF. They constructed one building for a community seed bank, and we whatever varieties are there, we started keeping there. Then she is now telling there are lots of varieties. We don't have space to keep all those varieties in that small building. So we need another building so that we can keep all the varieties in that seed bank, and we can access that regularly, and we'll continue to that. So that is her request. I think you can complete.
तो मु बहुत काम करिछि हमर स्वामीनाथन मोले मु छोट बेलरु भी तांकटू शिखिछि आरी आगो को भी मु एंती काम करिबी आगो को भी जारी रखिबी केंती चासी भाई बहन उनको केंती देसी पद्धति रे चाष करि पारिबे से उपरे भी मु ट्रेनिंग नै कि से उपरे भी चासी मन को बुझौछि पुनी आगामी दिन को एटा मो बंची रहइबो बोली आशा मते भलो घर दरकार आरी भलो हमरा मीटिंग ट्रेनिंग करवा पाई भी घर गोटे दरकार भलटा और बिहन रखवा पाई नहले तो बहुत असुविधा होउछि हमको जते बेले आमी पाम स्कूल तैयारी करछु से घर भी एबे पानी गळुछि बसी करी मीटिंग करी पारनु वर्षा दिन रे आउरी हमर बिहन रखवा पाई भी बहुत असुविधा होउछि से घर भी मते बिहन पांटी घर भी गोटे दरकार केंती चासी रखी पारिबे आमी तो एबे रखुछु मना नाही रखुछु आरी चासी मन नउचंती आरे जोटा खोजुचन सेटा भी नष्ट हो जाउछि सेटा आमी देई पारुनु चासी को मते बहुत भलो घर गोटे दरकार हेले मो सेटा रखी पारतांती अरे आगामी दिन को हमरो जतकी अचंती आगामी दिन को पीढ़ी अचंती से आगामी दिन को भी दरकार देबो तांको सेटा पाई मुई रखबा पाई मो चासी मन को भी कहउछि पुनी करूचंती भी काली देसी पद्धति रे चाष करबा पाई भी सिखैछि मु तो करूछि काली देसी पद्धति रे चाष करछि मुई केबे सरकारी को तो देइनी एबे जाको भी मु काली देसी पद्धति चाष करछि आंडी कत जीवामृत अमृत जल जिया कत आउरी हमरो गोबर कत ए जाको देइके चाष करछि पुनी आगामी दिन को भी मो करिबे बोली चासी मो आशा अछि पुनी सिखुचंती एबे धीरे धीरे करचंती हमरो अछि आउरी गोटे चासी बिकबा पाई मांडिया जते बेले मांडिया छाड़ी छाड़ी जाउतिले चासी काहे कि ना तांको बिकबा पाई बहुत असुविधा होतिला सीटा पाई चासी छाड़ी देउतिले मांडिया एबे से मांडिया को आमी मिलेट मिशन जते बेले आसिला तांकर संगरे हमर स्वामीनाथन आज्ञा मन संगरे मु मिसितिरी तांकर संगरे भी जड़ित होई कि ना एबे हमरो 10टा ग्रुप को नहीं कि गोटे एपीओ गठन कराला से एपीओ रे आमी एबे मांडिया किनुचु एबे चासी मोर खुशी कि मांडिया करचंती आरी मंडी के दउचंती आर 2 पैसा भी लाभ होउची नले आगरे बहुत खेती होतिला
We can conclude with this statement. Actually, she is telling she has lots of varieties, even if other farmers also lots of varieties there. So, if some provisions to keep those varieties will be there, I will be happy. And for and again, she is asking for a good training school can be established, because that training school, what is farm training school is established, that is very old, and there is some leakages. So if that can be done, then further training to the farmers facility can be there, and we can continue with that. So these are the major requirement she is placing here. So thanks Raimati for putting this. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Raimadi. Now we are going to release the book of abstract. We have collected more than 25 abstract. We are planning to bring out this as a peer-reviewed publication in future, shortly. I request Dr. Soumya and all other dignitaries. I request Dr. Soumya ma'am to felicitate the guest. request ma'am to felicitate Raimadi Gudia. I request Prasant to felicitate Dr. Soumya. Now it's time to honor the custodian farmers. There are 3 custodian farmers. Sri Hari Nayak. Sri Hari Nayak is a leading pulse national seed producer in agriculture village of Baipariguda block.
जय श्री राम मना हरिनायक ग्राम ओटालुड़ा चंद्रपड़ा पंचायत बैपड़ा ब्लॉक आज्ञा आम तो बादाम चाष आगे करते जेजे बापा बापा मान करते से बिहन भी कम होता से आदय कम होता एवं जो आम स्वामीनाथन आज्ञा मैंने आसिक जिते शिखाइले से आम धाड़ी धाड़ी कर रुईलू मझे बेड कर लगाइलु टे बिहनटा टे अधिक अमल हो
So he's telling actually he is a farmer mainly cultivating groundnut. Earlier groundnut was not cultivated in that area much. So MSSRF started facilitating cultivation of groundnut. They taught us regarding the cultivation process, and we are now cultivating that.
I invited Sri Padma Pradhani. He is a successful farmer from Baliguda village in Koraput. He has acquired the technique of new technology by getting training in high quality agriculture practices and scientific methods from MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, by which he has made a significant contribution in enhancing the skills and income of a group of 450 farmers in about 8 villages in his area. He has special experience in the field of traditional seed conservation, oil and pulses production. He contributed as chief farmer trainer at the grassroots level in invaluable and high commendable manner. Now I invite Srimati Rukmani Kilo, a pathfinder in women's empowerment from Jolguda village, Koraput district. She has gained special skills in marketing various products presented by her. She has also managed a successful initiative related to this with the assistants of MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. As the director of, she leads the supply of mandia crops to the Odisha government. Additionally, she is the chief trainer farmer for unique efforts. She has also been honored at the state level. Thank you. Now I invite Prashant Parida to deliver vote of thanks.
It's my immense pleasure to convey my gratitude. All the delegates and speakers, they are present here. They, with our request, they come from long way with to be with us. So I from MS Swaminathan Research Foundation and Tribal Agrobiodiversity Center, Jeypore, I convey my thanks to all of them. Actually, today we are having major 5 eminent panelists and speakers and delegates with us. First of all, I thank our chairperson, Dr. Swaminathan, to be with us and encouraging us to have this consultation. And actually, she when she was in Bhubaneswar during the November 10 and 11, the government of Odisha was organizing the Mandya Divas. At that time, this consultation thought was came to her mind, and she thought of organizing this consultation, and she discussed with Dr. Tara Satyavati, Dr. Konda Reddy, and Salin Madam, and also our Agriculture Principal Secretary, Dr. Arvind Padi. So all of them immediately agreed to have this sorts of a consultation here, and that is materialized today. So I thank Ma'am for giving this thought and for organizing this consultation. And this is the only start session, and we are going to have lots of discussions during these 2 days. So I thank Dr. Konda Reddy for coming long way, and they are from the very beginning they are with us for designing this consultation jointly, and also Dr. Tara Satyavati, even if there are lots of challenges she is meeting, because so many wars she was there, so she was not actually she initially she told that she will be with us for 2 days, but due to emergencies she will not be available for tomorrow. Even if half day of today, she will be leaving today afternoon, but still for this short time also she is with us. Thank you, ma'am, for joining, even if you have so many important words also. And also, I thank Dr. Kuldeep Singh being with us for all this time, and he has committed that he will be with us for 2 days and to give his thoughts for this consultation. And I thank our Executive Director, Dr. G.N. Hariharan, being with us, and also I thank my other colleagues who are present here, Dr. Oliver King, Girijan, and others. They supported a lot. And I thank all other delegates who are present here. Finally, I thank by farmers, all farmers, they are here. Even if they are also in outside exhibiting seed materials, they are participating in the seed fest, and there are some NGO partners. They have also come. They are exhibiting their seed materials and participating. So all delegates, all NGO partners, CBO partners, farmers, everybody, I thank all and one for coming here. I also requesting all of you to be with us till the end of this consultation and participate actively and give her thoughts. Thank you all once again. Thank you once.
Thank you. That's the end of inaugural session. And we will be having this, we'll be going to the stall and we'll be breaking for the tea. And we will reconvene at 12 o'clock here, sharply for the technical session. Thank you all. Inviting all of you to the inauguration of the seed festivals.
And we'll stand for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Reconvening time, what time you said? 12:15.